Hello there, and welcome to the Joe Mom Skylander YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here as a returning member, welcome back. This is part 2 to the last devil fruit video I made, so this will cover all the paramecia devil fruits from Return to Sabaody to the current day One Piece, or this chapter that's on screen. Before we get started, huge thanks to Dextorito, imposter romulus, sashanks, chicken D rice, simeon. This video would not be possible without you, as they have helped with scripting and research. So, big shout out to them. So, with all that in place, let's begin. Start off, we have the Matsumoto no Mi fruit, used by Vander Deacon the Ninth. This fruit allows its user to mark a target with their hand, and then when something is thrown with that hand, it always hits whatever the target is pointed. As seen in Fisherman Island arc, this effect can be very destructive when used. A slight push from Vander sent the giant ship Noah on a crash course with Princess Shinanushu, or whatever the name is. I can't pronounce it. The Fuku no Mi, or the Garb fruit, belongs to Kina, and the ability of it is very late in hindsight. The ability in particular I'm saying is when a small object like a pebble is placed on his head, he can then turn it into claws. Like, how do you even go figuring that out? That's like the thing that confuses me the most. The Hobi no Mi fruit is used by Sugar, and it allows her to turn people into toys, while erasing everyone's memory of this person, as well as even the users themselves forget the action of turning into a toy. The fruit also stops the user's body from aging. Its use can be seen all over Dressrosa with all of the toys there. The Buki no Mi fruit, eaten and wielded by Baby 5. This fruit allows its user to transform any part of their body. Yes, any. Into a type of weapon, a direct upgrade of the sword fruit. The sword fruit was of course used by Daz Bones. The Guru no Mi. This belongs to one of the Don Quixote pirates named Buffalo, and allows to make any part of him or a piece of clothing that he's wearing to rotate at high speeds, making him take helicopter to another level. Yes, that was a dick joke. The Beta no Mi. This fruit, called the stick fruit, and doesn't allow him to control wood. It allows him to control and create mucus, so different kind of wood I see. The Zushi no Mi fruit. This fruit belongs to, hot take, my favorite admiral, Fujitora, who would be second, but Kuzan kinda dipped. Anyway, Fujitora's fruit, the press fruit, allows him to manipulate gravity. This fruit, the Bari no Mi fruit, belongs to the #1 Straw Hat fan, Bartolomeo, and allows him to create invisible barriers by crossing his fingers. But the fruit originally belonged to Lambert Bukini, or Bukini? I don't really know. The Nui no Mi fruit belongs to Leo, one of the Straw Hat captains, and allows him to stitch different objects together, living and non-living. So he theoretically could create a human centipede if he really wanted to. So, probably a good idea to stay on his good side. The Giro no Mi is basically just souped up observation hockey, allowing her to see through walls, minds, and people's memories and thoughts, which, pretty invasive. She can also magnify her tears, but I don't know if this is just part of the devil fruit or just something she can do. The Ato no Mi fruit. It belongs to Kiola, I think is how you pronounce it. The lady from the Dressrosa arc. What it does is transform any object, including humans, into abstract art. The Jacko no Mi fruit. The jacket fruit, is one of the most useless fruits in all of One Piece. It turns the user into a jacket, and whoever wears it is controlled by the user. So, I'm thinking every homeless person's dream. The Pamu no Mi, or the Pop fruit, eaten by Gladius, which lets the user pop or explode anything they touch, including living and non-living things. But he cannot explode himself, so, no kamikaze. The Sui no Mi fruit, or the Swim fruit, eaten by everyone's favorite person, Senor Pink. Yes, you are thinking that right. The large baby man with the unnecessarily sad backstory that had no right to be so good. This fruit lets the user swim through everything except the sea. The Ton fruit is different from the Kilo fruit because this one goes all the way up to tons, where the other one only goes up to kilos. So this is just basically if your mom ate a normal apple. The Hira no Mi fruit, or the Ripple fruit, was eaten by the flag guy in Dressrosa, Diamante. This turns the user into a kind of flag or any non-living object. The Ishi no Mi fruit, or the Stone fruit, eaten by Pika, lets the user turn into, control, and even be the stone. This can be used to turn into a giant stone human. This fruit, the Fude no Mi fruit, was eaten by the traitor himself, Kanjuro. This allows whatever the user draws to come to life. So in a way, this is a weaker version of Gear 5. And since the user is now dead, we could see the return of his fruit. The Nagi no Mi fruit. This is the Calm fruit, eaten by Law's savior, Corazon. This allows the user to create a dome, and in this dome, no sound goes in or out. The Chiyu no Mi, I think is how you pronounce it, or the Heal fruit, which I much greatly prefer, is eaten by Princess Monasheri of the Tanatas. This allows the user to heal any living creature, but not for a long time. The Maki no Mi fruit allows you to create and control scrolls. Examples are using them as shields. They can hold objects and release them too, as well. This was eaten by Raizo, so basically like that one paper stand from JJBA. The Sora no Mi fruit was eaten by Big Mom. This allows the user to have the power of soul manipulation. She does this by taking away life and able to give life to inanimate objects, like the majority of the silly characters in Whole Cake. The fruit was originally used by Camel, who was a child trafficker who deals orphans like candy. Damn Oda, I didn't know One Piece had the balls to do this. The Maru no Mi is a Mira fruit, eaten by Brutus. This can be used as a shield for enemy attacks, or just used normally. You can also use them to reflect attacks, or as portals to a pocket dimension, like where Luffy and Katakuri fought. The Pero no Mi fruit was eaten by Perosipo, I can't really pronounce the name, and allows the user to create and manipulate candy at will. So this guy is definitely a menace during Halloween. The Pisu no Mi fruit is eaten by Cracker. He's every British person's worst nightmare, as this fruit allows him to create and control biscuits. You can use them to make puppets, crush them into crumbs, and they are super durable. And when put into water, they become just soft, just like mine. Now we move on to every American's worst nightmare with the Bada no Mi fruit, or the Butter fruit. This belongs to Charlotte Gallant, and it allows her to create and control butter, allowing her to kill any American from a heart attack in an instant. The Buka no Mi belongs to Charlotte Montdior, and this fruit allows her, or him, I can't remember. Anyway, allows him to manipulate books like people, able to trap people inside of them. The Kuri no Mi fruit. This fruit isn't very special, as any teenage boy has this fruit, if you really think about it. This is the cream fruit, and allows him to create a controlled cream, like by raising the temperature of it to burn the flesh of his victim. So basically, me after a hard day of school, without the boiling part. The Shubu no Mi fruit belongs to Charlotte Smoothie. The Ring fruit allows her to drain liquid from people, objects, and transform it into the user's body by wringing them out. The ringing effect does no harm to the person except leaving them incredibly dehydrated. The Memo no Mi fruit belongs to Charlotte Pudding, Sanji's true girl. The fruit allows her to manipulate people's memories by pulling them out of their head. She can also manipulate people's actions without asking to do so. Now we get on to one of my favorite fruits, the Mochi no Mi. This is actually one of my favorite fights in all of One Piece. I'm talking about Luffy and Katakuri. And what makes this fight amazing is Katakuri's fruit, the Mochi fruit, which is like Luffy's in every single thing. But because of Katakuri's observation haki, it's even harder. No pause. The Mochi fruit allows him to create and control and transform into Mochi, allowing him to mold his body to however he pleases. Like in the fight, he would use his haki to see a few seconds ahead to mold his body around Luffy's punch. In total, I could talk about this fruit all day. Same with the Zark. This is probably one of the best devil fruits in my opinion. The Hoya no Mi fruit belongs to Charlotte Defaku. And who Defaku is that guy? I don't know. Not all jokes are hitters. Anyway, his fruit allows him to summon a great genie when he rubs his belly. Not really much to him. The Netsu Netsu no Mi fruit belongs to Charlotte Oven, and it basically allows him to do what an oven does, letting him heat up and emit heat from his body. The Kuku Kuku no Mi fruit belongs to Strusen and allows him to transform objects into nutritious foods. But like all nutritious foods, they taste bad. Like if he was falling onto a slab of concrete, he could use his fruit to turn that into something soft. And finally, for the last of full cake, we now have the Gocha Gocha no Mi fruit. And the Pile Pile fruit belongs to Charlotte Nushi and allows him to fuse with other people. The Oshi Oshi no Mi fruit allows him to manipulate the ground as if it were clay. This belongs to Morley of the Revolutionary Army. The Kobu Kobu no Mi fruit is probably one of the biggest support fruits in the history of support fruits. The Pump Up fruit allows her to rally people up and awaken their fighting spirit and their last potential. This fruit is used by Bello Betty. The Kibi Kibi no Mi fruit belongs to Tama and allows her to create danga, which is like a dumpling made with rice flour and usually put on a skewer. When eaten by an animal, she can have the ability to control it for about a month. This food can't satisfy hunger though. The Toki Toki no Mi fruit, or the Time Time fruit, allows Kozoku Toki to either send her or other people into the future. This was shown when he sent Momo about 20 years into the future. The Juku Juku no Mi fruit is pretty deadly if used correctly. This fruit allows the user Shinobu to, no, not that one, allows her to rapidly decay any person or object that they touch. The Shiku Shiku no Mi fruit. This fruit is kind of like Purple Haze from JJBA, allowing him to afflict people with a disease. Because of his sickly appearance, he rides a horse, who is also sick, so really, no help there. The Wapu Wapu no Mi fruit. This belongs to Van Aguilar, and allows him and other people to teleport. But for other people to teleport, he has to get in contact with them first. The Riki Riki no Mi fruit belongs to Jesus Burgess, who was born on December 25th. Coincidence? I think not. Anyway, his fruit allows him to use Superman strength. The Nomi 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 fruit belongs to Vegapunk, and it allows him to store an infinite amount of data, but his brain grows and then his head. So he creates a hard drive and made 6 other Vegapunks who also learn new things. All in all, cool fruit if you use it right. The Shima Shima no Mi fruit, or the Isle Isle fruit, allows Avlo Pizarro to control an island. In this case, kinda like Pika, but with the entirety of Pirate Island. You can control any natural resources and artificial structures on this island. The Gabu Gabu no Mi fruit's true ability is unknown, but I do hope it will appear in the final saga. Basically, so the Glug Glug fruit used by Vasco Shot has an unknown alcohol power, so that leaves us to just guess on what his power could be. My guess is that he can pass any drunk driving, always having a BPA of less than 0.07. The only way this has been used is just by lighting alcohol on fire. The Munchie Munchie no Mi fruit belongs to Kakuja, and it allows her to control anything she whips, including other people and objects. Now, this does have me wonder. The Nori Nori no Mi fruit belongs to Bluegrass, and it allows her to control anything she rides, which does make me wonder. The Tutsu Tutsu no Mi fruit belongs to Urban, and like Baby 5, this allows him to create cannons from his body. Our first Elbaf fruit belongs to the Iku Iku no Mi, and it's used by Biblo. Allows him to enlarge things in his area like books. He takes human-sized books and then they enlarge, rendering them useful to giants. Now we get on to one of my favorite fruits, the Ara Aru no Mi. This belongs to Myanmar Gunku, and allows her to control arrows by using them for offense and defense, like using them to hold stuff or choking people, to using them as platforms to stand on. She can also wrap them around her body to protection, or to strengthen her attacks, like punches or kicks. It can affect movement and its properties. She can also use them as pathways for her next attacks. You can change paths if something were to happen. Basically, she could be a god when she uses her powers. Cause as to me, it just looks like she's just been bending physics to whatever she feels like. Our last true fruit is the Iba Iba no Mi fruit. This is a thorn fruit and allows the user to shepherd Somers to generate and attach thorny vines around himself and others. He can manipulate the size of the vines and make them invisible, which is like stupid. I mean, why would you make... I mean, I know why you would do it, but like, I feel like that's just kind of a little overpowered, don't you think? Now, our last canon fruit is the Urug's fruit. This is our last devil fruit, and it belongs to Urug, and it allows him to convert damage into strength, using it to expand his muscles. And that concludes our video for this evening, or whatever time it is for you guys. Now, please, pretty please subscribe, as I did work really hard. And before we end, I just want to give an extra big special thanks to the people who helped work, including Dextorito, imposter Romulus, Chicken D Rice, Sashanks, and Simeon. So, this video would not be possible without them, as they did help with scripting and research, as I mentioned in the beginning. Now, that's all the paramecia fruits done. So now we'll move on to eventually Zohan and Logia in later parts. I'm probably going to do Zohan in one video and probably Logia in one video too. So, and if this gets enough attention, eventually I'll do all the non-canon fruit, like ones from movies and in the filler episodes and other stuff. So subscribe if you don't want to miss that. Bye.